My name is Dr. Austin Tay, and you are listening to Psych Chat. A warm welcome to episode 41 of Psych Chat. My name is Dr. Austin Tay, and I am an organizational psychologist. In my podcast, I discuss workplace issues and offer tips for navigating the complex world of work. If this is your first time listening to this podcast, welcome. Do subscribe to my podcast to ensure you get all the new episodes. For those who are already subscribers, welcome back. Teams are essential in any organizations. However, sometimes organizations might not have the right methods or ways to motivate teams to perform. In addition, with the advent of AI, is there a solution out there that organizations can leverage? This brings me to today's episode. I am delighted to have Jens Petter Skaug, CEO of TeamCoachr, to share his company's solution to help organizations build effective, resilient, and adaptable teams. Hi there, Jens. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Austin. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Not at all. The pleasure is always mine. Now, tell us a little bit more about yourself.
So, as you said and pronounced it great, Jens Petter Skaug is my name, and I'm from Norway. And today I'm obsessed by helping teams to perform and to build high-performing teams. And my professional background is that I worked at EY for 6-7 years. As a consultant, as a business consultant with people advisory services. And I felt there where you like always you're just lucky if you were on a team that had a great leader. What struck me then is that, what I got really passionate about over the years is that I am when people progress in the in companies, they progress because of their technical skills and not because they are great people managers. So you need to have something there to really help them become great people managers, because the only way in the career ladder is to get some personal responsibility when you climb the ladder. And so what I really wanted to do together with my co-founder is to build a great solution, super easy to use software as a service for coaches, for team leaders, and also internal coaches and consultants to bring to the market and bring to the organizations to help them build the soft skills to become great leaders together with their team members, not only by themselves, but together. So they all are accountable for developing great leadership within the team. So, yeah.
Great. I mean, from what you were discussing, what you were sharing early on, I could see a lot of the listeners will not be able to see this, but we're doing this as a recording. A lot of people will not be able to see this. I can see it. The passion you were talking about teams from your past experience working in EY, how teams are very important in an organization. And I always believe people generally are the bedrock of an organization. We need to have good people working together. And at the same time, it's also essential for team leaders to have tools that could help them to lead a team. So I think this will kind of very, very smoothly go to my next question about TeamCoachr. What is TeamCoachr? For the listeners, they will be very fascinated to know about what TeamCoachr is.
So TeamCoachr is a self-led team development software powered by AI. So it's used by coaches, consultants, and team leaders to build psychological safety and the key success functions in teams. So it is game-based software. So where you and your team get tailored discussions and tailored content and learning content based on the personalities within the team, and also the pulse survey assessments. So what we do is that we combine the data from your personalities within the team and together with the pulse survey measurements, aggregate that on a team level to tailor content to you. So you've always trained on the relevant soft skills that you need to progress on in your team. And so you can say that the tagline we sometimes use is that from pulse survey to instant tailored team sessions. So it's like when you have an instant coffee, you pour water into the cup and you get coffee right away. So that's like the metaphor we use also here. It's like you pour your personality and your pulse survey into the cup, and then you get, and we have the powder of the coffee where you get an instant training sessions right away. That's playful also, so to speak, because what we also I think is very important when we talk about these things is that and learn about it is to make it a bit playful. So we incorporate game mechanics to make it more easy and more, and also we see that people open themselves up more because it's a more easy way to do this instead of going to a leadership program, going to develop team development programs where you have round tables and you're very strict regime, so to speak. We do it a bit very playful way. So to make people open up and build candor in the team, and the theoretical background and the framework we use are based on the professor Amy Edmondson at Harvard Business School and Patrick Lencioni from Table Group, and also the research from Google's Project Aristotle, which is gained lots of insight or lots of popularity over the years. And we also have the psychometric Big Five test, which is developed by a Norwegian psychologist with more than 30 years experience in the field of psychology, who helped us with building the Big Five test, where we incorporate this as a part of the methodology, and to always bring out the best from, to give the teams or the team member great advice along the way while they are using the tool.
Fascinating. I mean, I heard what you just said. There were like three components to TeamCoachr itself: the personality questionnaire, then the pulse survey, and then the end product, which is kind of the solution, really. How the teams can actually look at the pulse survey and then come up with a tailor-made program for them to improve.
Exactly.
The fascinating bit for me was when you were talking a little bit more about the research behind. Now, I'm a psychologist, as you know, the research behind the Big Five, and then also the psychological safety example you gave there with the research that Google did. Now, I'm very interested, perhaps also for the listeners themselves, to know a little bit more about. Could you kind of tell us a little bit more about that psychological safety component of the tool itself?
Yeah. So what we do to build psychological safety in the team is that we start by the modules are you progress and you mature together with the solution as a team. So if you're a new team, for instance, you start always with a kickoff session where you dive a bit deeper into who we are and what we what our strengths are. So we do the assessment together, and we share some parts, not the whole assessment, of course, but some the key strengths that we bring to our team, and in that session or in that module in TeamCoachr, you go from the assessment to build and start sharing strength stories within the team, and you also then you build up to also share your failure stories. So because you want to go into the vulnerability part, you want to open up the people that can be a bit closed, especially we experience in the tech industry where maybe you like some say there are a lot of introverts people there, but we manage to to open up the people, because everybody needs to share something. We practice what we call equal turn taking in all the sessions. So everybody needs to collaborate and to say something in those sessions. And from there, after the kickoff, you have a pause for a week or two, and then you have a new module where you go into and you go deeper into the psychological safety part, where we have concrete modules about speak up. So okay, what's about speak up? So we have like, okay, so we have a discussion in team. How do you not create psychological safety? And we have a discussion there, or the team have a discussion there, and you end that session with how do we actually then provide and support and contribute to psychological safe teams. So and when you are in those sessions in TeamCoachr, you are nudged with our AI tool to perform in that discussion. So we give you tips based on your personalities and based on your personal strength, what you can bring to the team based on your strength, so you can help the team develop and maintain a high level of psychological safety. So we could dive into all the modules that we tailored for the teams and the discussion, but I think that's like, so you see the progress now.
Sure, sure. I like the way you were saying about the AI nudges, because when you were talking about psychological safety, and in my head was, what if someone decided not to contribute to the discussion, and because they don't feel quite safe to share, even though they are in a safe space within the module. But you mentioned the AI nudges, where those nudges will create questions for the individual based on their personality and in that space that they have. So there's a kind of guidance there rather than a forced participation in the platform itself. Am I right to say that?
Yeah, exactly. And this is why where you make everyone accountable, so everybody, if you are nudged with some tips that you can bring to your, which is easy for you to use, because we have mapped some of your strengths. So that's like the whole idea here, is that when we give a nudge from our AI engine to each participant, um, you sit for 3 minutes in silence in the team and read it out, and then we do the equal turn taking, that everybody needs to talk and everybody needs to contribute. And at the end of the session, we always like have okay, so what's the key takeaway today? What is the one thing that we as a group can do the coming days and the coming weeks, based on our discussion today, to progress? Maybe only 1%. It's not that we're going to revolutionize. You need to train this frequently, and we advise our clients to use this on a weekly or bi-weekly basis. So we have if you read the book Habit Stacking, or where like you make this as a habit, and as a great habit, when you do, for instance, retrospectives, or you have the weekly meetings or weekly tactic meetings. So you always have this on the agenda, and we can see, and we can also actually promise a progression in psychological safety and the other key functions that we have in our model.
Well, with what you were saying about transparency, the organization will be able to see the performance and also the progress itself. Now, the question
Exactly.
for you next is this platform or this tool that you have, is it targeted to a specific group of people?
So we typically targeted to coaches, internal coaches in organizations, and also team leaders that wants to maintain and develop a high level of psychological safety and key success functions. And we haven't talked about the other key success functions. Maybe also dive a bit into that, because team leaders, it's a very complex world we live in today. It's like the fast moving technology. We have thousands of mod or tools that help us be great at task management, but not people management. For team leaders specifically, so they need to have also a super easy tool to manage the people, but develop skill sets along the way. And so what it's for team leaders, it's very important to like, okay, how can I just use this in a simple manner to for my team in digitally, physically, or hybrid workplace, so we can help me focusing on letting people be heard, listen to people in a simple way and a structured way also, so they can see progression over time, and so it's the end users is team leaders, but they are implemented by typically by coaches, internal coaches, or even HR personnel.
Right. So it's actually a quite vast application there, both internally and externally, and for consultants or coaches who works with team in terms of team coaching, they could use your platform. So with that, one of the question I'm quite curious to know, because you kind of design, or you started this company with your partner here with the intention, as you said, to create leadership, team leadership within organization. And you started in the kind of advent of where AI is now on the rise. Everybody's talking about AI. Everybody's so excited about it. I'm just curious, how is TeamCoachr disrupting the whole coaching scenario and the space of leadership, and also in the space of assessment? What are your thoughts on this question?
Yeah, so what I have experienced over the years is that when we do leadership training or we do team training, we typically start out with some assessments, some tools, and for instance, you have the personality assessment. You can have there's many different personality assessments out there, but when you do that, you need to maybe have one that is certified to use that tool or to use that assessment, and you only do it and it's static one time, and you do and it's static, and so if you get the PDF or you get a report that says something about you and your skills, and then you have a pulse survey, which is typically led by the HR department, where you then do pulse survey, and actions taken from those pulse surveys are lagging. So it maybe take 3 months or 6 months even to take actions based on the pulse survey, and then you are then like when you do the actions, you are in a new state, so you don't, maybe it's not relevant to actually do those actions in the organizations. And also when we train people in e-learning one by one, so it's one by one training, or we take the team leader out of their current workspace, put them in a leadership program, and then with other leaders, and then they are trained there for some weeks or some months, back and forth, and then go back to the team where they're actually the the environment where they should train on. So you have so many, so it's so many different solutions that nobody has really or what you say, the uh,
Integrating them
to
together.
exactly
Integrating
in
them
a
together. Yeah.
super integrating them together. Thank you. And that's what we do, and that's what we want to disrupt, to make it just super easy for everyone without, you don't need a deep certification in this, because you are progressing as the tool together with the team, and it's just to hit start and start the conversation, because and you progress together as a team. So we combine pulse survey measurements, as I said earlier, pulse survey together with the personality assessment, and tailor the e-learning content where you play together as a team. Is also very important. The TeamCoachr is for the team to play together synchronically, not asynchronically. So that's like the whole idea of disrupting that market, because to just make it super easy for the end user to really start building key success functions, as we call them. It's about psychological safety, it's about feedback mechanisms, it's about accountability, commitment, and meaning. And the folk also have healthy conflicts and heated debates, which you actually promote, because then you are allowed to speak up if you have heated debates in the team and so forth. And also at the end, that you focus on team results over your ego and your individual goals.
Thank you for that, Jens, because I think often a lot of tools or platforms in the market, they are designed not thinking about the end users. They're designed for ease, for simplicity, or maybe for the aesthetic itself. But often I think, as someone who uses a lot of psychometrics myself, tools tend to be not very end user friendly. And with what you just share, putting everything together with one platform eases that and also allow the end user to be feeling very comfortable to be able to use that. Does this mean that an end user could actually use this platform on all the platforms they can use on, like a mobile phone, iPad, and also desktop?
Yeah, so it's you can use it on any device, and it's also integrating super easy with Teams, or use it when you have Zoom calls or Slack calls, or so it integrates super easy with your existing tools, and that's very important for us to also mention, because uh, we want to be a part of your existing process, not to change your process. That's very important. So because then we never get a seat at the table from a client, you know. So it's
Yeah.
super easy way to just integrate it with Teams or your typical video chatting tool or conferencing tool. But also one thing I forgot to mention in terms of, especially in teams where you have high turnover, in new teams, typical project-based organizations. So if we're back to the starting point where like you do the assessment, you do the pulse survey, you do the e-learning and so forth. But when you have a new team member in or a new team member leaves, you have a new team dynamic. But what our solution is doing is that this adapts to the new person. So everything will change a bit in small degrees. So you need to take, as a leader, you need to be aware of that, because the whole team dynamic will change. But also you get instant notifications and instant understanding of where that person typically fit in, and then start that in the conversation from there.
Wow, that's a fantastic kind of catch-all platform from the way you describe it. That's fantastic, though. I mean, hearing what you just said. Now, with all those good things that you just shared with all of us, the listeners and everything, let us know, how can people reach out to you to learn more about TeamCoachr?
So you can Google TeamCoachr.ai with where coacher is without the e, so we make it difficult for your listeners.
Okay.
But you can Google us, or go to our LinkedIn page, or even our Meetup platform. If you use Meetup, we are also there and having meetups. Together with the coaches, we're sharing shares how they are using it at their clients, with their teams, which they're consulting. So TeamCoachr.ai is the way to go, and everyone gets the 30 days free trial if you want to, like, no obligation, no strings attached. Just try it out and see if it fits your team.
Sure. It's always good to have free trial, isn't it? Now, just one more time, the website that people can reach you is TeamCoachr. That is TeamCoachr.ai. So it's without the E. So if you're interested, please log on to the website to check out TeamCoachr. Now, with this, I would say thank you to you, Jens, for taking the time to talk to us. And I'm sure we will get more people who are interested in knowing more will reach out to you very soon. Thank you for talking to us today.
Thank you so much, Ossian. Pleasure.
You have been listening to Site Chat. This podcast is brought to you by Omnisci Consulting. We are a team of psychologists with a wealth of experience working with individuals, teams, and organizations in coaching, executive selection, assessment and development, career transitioning, and workplace intervention. Omnisci Consulting exists to solve the critical issues facing our clients, both large and small. Our approach is to tailor make each service to meet the requirements of our clients. Our broad range of services and solutions helps individuals and organizations to facilitate change, achieve their vision, and optimize performance and productivity.